thing we are dealing with is Christ.
Yeah.
The claim that you made. So this individual, who you say is Christ, yeah, God puts his words in his mouth, and he has to speak what God commands him to speak. God does do what? Commands him. So this individual listens to the commands of God, is obedient to the command of God, subservient to the command of God. Do you understand so far?
I do, yeah.
Good. Now what happens then? He will tell them everything I command him. I myself will call to account anyone who does not listen to my words, and the prophet speaks in my name. But a prophet who presumes to speak in my name anything I have not commanded, or a prophet who speaks in the name of other gods, is to be put to death. This individual, if he speaks other than what God commands, he will be put to death. That means that individual, if it's Christ or if it's Jesus in your words, is an individual that will be killed by God if he doesn't speak in the name of God or what God commands him. So now we have an individual who God raises up, and he has to do exactly what God commands him to do. Does Christ fit that description?
Yes.
Okay. Can Christ speak of his own?
Christ only did what he saw his Father doing, and said what.
Can Christ speak of his own?
Christ, according to the Bible, he said, he made a claim, he preached that I only do what my Father tells me to do, and I only say what my Father tells me to say.
Sure. So my question to you now, is he able to speak of his own?
I can only tell you what the Bible says. Jesus made so many statements that I and the Father are one. The Father is in me and I in him. And he says, I can only say what the Father tells me to say.
Good. So you agree. He can only say what God commands him to say.
Yeah.
Can God the Father say things without anyone commanding him?
What?
Yeah, it's what? Let me repeat again. Can God the Father say anything when no one is commanding him?
Hold on. Can the Father say anything
without being commanded to say anything?
The Father?
Yeah.
He's not on earth. He's not on earth. How can you hear?
The Father is God.
No, I'm asking you.
He doesn't need anyone to command us.
Can he say things without anyone commanding him to say?
Can the Father say, no one commands the Father?
So he can speak on his own free will?
Yes.
Right, without anyone commanding him?
No one can command the Father.
Good. So God, now understanding what God is and who Jesus is, because you believe Jesus cannot say other than what God commands him. Yeah?
Yeah.
So this individual is spoken about. Is he speaking about God or someone God commands?
This individual is talking about the Messiah to come.
Is it talking about a God, or is it talking about who God commands?
No, man.
You don't get it? It's too much for you, is it?
No, you're too much.
Can I break it down easily?
No, you're too much. You really are. Yeah. Now just get to the point.
Okay, my point is this.
What are you trying to say?
According to your belief, Christ only speaks when he's commanded to say. The Father speaks without anyone commanding him. So now we have a distinction between God and Christ. Christ has no likeness whatsoever to God. So this individual...
Actually, Christ does speak on his own, doesn't he? Yeah, he said that. Yeah, Christ does speak on his own as well.
Okay. If he spoke something other than what God commanded him, can he do that?
Okay. What you're saying is this, that if he was a prophet, I see where you're going now, why was he put to death?
No.
Is that where you're going?
If God
is
going to send a God, it's meaningless to say,
Now,
I haven't finished my point.
Let me just rewind.
Before you rewind,
Deuteronomy 18.
Before you rewind,
we are going in a whole different field now.
No, we're not.
Right?
We are establishing that individual is going to put to death. Can God put himself to death?
God put his son to death.
No, can God put himself to death?
Put his son to death.
Because he was disobedient.
No.
Right. So if God finds his son disobedient, he's going to put him to death as well, right?
No.
That's what it says here.
His son is not disobedient.
If that person,
Okay, listen to me.
read this.
No, you read
if
it.
that person
You read
does
it.
not do what God
Why
commands
did
him to
Jesus
do,
die?
excuse
Why
me.
was he put to death?
Listen,
Listen
here.
now look at me. Look at me.
But the prophet,
Look at me.
I'm reading.
No.
You need to.
I know where you're going.
You need to honor your scripture.
Jesus Christ was put to death not for his disobedience, but for our disobedience.
But a prophet who presumes to speak in my name,
And he
anything
was not
I have not
disobedient.
come.
He was not. He was not put to death.
he was disobedient.
Because of a false prophecy.
Listen.
He was put to death for
Slow
my
down.
sin and for everyone else's sin.
If he was disobedient, he's going to put to death, according to God, right?
How I can't say that if he was disobedient?
If he
because
was.
never was.
Right.
He never could be.
So, hang
He
on.
proved that in the temptation.
Wait. So now you have. Now.
Your question.
Listen.
Your question.
Listen.
No. We're talking about apples and pears.
No, I haven't gone from there. So now this is a prophet.
Hold a minute.
If
This ain't
he
a discussion. This
Okay.
is interrogation.
Not interrogation.
Yes, it is.
This is what we call
But it's fine.
verification.
I'll go with it.
Right.
I'll go with it.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
So this refers to Jesus, you said.
Yes.
Okay. If Jesus disobeyed, he would be put to death,
Listen
according to this,
me.
right?
Listen to me. The scripture says, I will raise up for you a prophet like you, Moses, from among their brethren. So he has to be like Moses.
Yeah.
So we have to
Would
look
he be
at
put to death?
where we have to look at Moses' ministry and Jesus' ministry. Number one.
Would he be put to death?
Number one, they were both intercessors, right? They stood in the gap on behalf of
You are
disobedient
dealing with
people.
characteristics which you think fits, right?
That's number one characteristic.
Okay. Did Moses have a father?
You're talking about his humankind. No. It's
Come on.
One had a father, one didn't. How can they be the same?
So now you see clearly, you bring some characteristics, and I bring characteristics, and they're different. It doesn't fit. So what we're dealing with, let's deal with what the text says. If that prophet who presumes to speak in my name, if he doesn't do that,
him.
we
Look
will
at their
kill him.
ministry.
Wait, we will kill him.
Look at
now,
their ministry.
wait. Are you saying, if that was Jesus, if he didn't speak what God commanded him, God will kill him?
Listen to me. Listen to me.
That's what the text says.
Jesus himself verifies this scripture. He's talking to the Jewish people at the time, and he's saying, and Moses wrote about me, not just
Did he not
once,
say in my name? What is the name of God?
Father.
No. What is the name of the Father?
At that time is Yahweh.
What is the name of the Father?
Yahweh.
Right. Did Jesus speak in the name of Yahweh?
Yes.
Where?
He came to reveal his name.
Where did he speak? Open up your New Testament.
No,
Open up from the
He
first
came-
gospel to the end of Revelation. Where does Jesus speak in the name of Yahweh?
To Jesus' ministry, when his ministry began, he told people that God, Yahweh now, is your Father.
Listen, you're now waffling.
I'm not waffling.
It says,
you're not
listen.
listening.
He needs to speak in God's name.
Yes.
You said
and he
the name.
came in his Father's name.
You said the name of God is Yahweh. You said that, right? Excuse me. Did you not say he spoke in the name of God, which was Yahweh?
When he said, I'm coming in my Father's name, what he's saying is, I come in his authority.
Excuse me.
I've come under his authority.
No, you haven't read this verse here. Look. This prophet, look. In my name, speaks in my name.
Yeah.
This
Meaning,
name.
he's speaking on my
Don't give me a
behalf.
name. No, don't give me what it means. In the name of God.
Quoted the Shema.
So
He
now,
also quoted the
excuse me.
Shema.
No,
The Shema.
I think you need to be really fair. It says this prophet has to speak in the name of God. The name of God here. You said it's Yahweh.
Yeah.
You claimed it. Now, open up.
No.
I have not finished yet.
No, listen to
Open
me.
up the
Listen
New
to me.
Testament.
God's
Show me where,
revelation-
from the beginning of the Gospel
God's
to the end of Revelation, Jesus speaks
God's
in the name of Yahweh.
revelation is from Genesis to Revelation.
Sorry?
The revelation of God is from Genesis to Revelation.
Listen.
It says Yahweh, Jehovah,
You are not
and
being
Father,
very
and
fair, are you?
Father. No, numerous of times. We had this discussion.
What is the name of the
before.
Father?
Numerous of times in the
What
Old
is the
Testament,
name of the Father?
God refers to himself as a father.
What's his name?
And I will be a father to
What is his
Israel.
name?
He refers to himself as Yahweh.
Good. So now we have a name of God
Jehovah.
from this passage. So now, in the New Testament, I'm giving you. Let me finish.
No.
I'm giving you all of it.
When
Don't
you
say
go
no.
in someone's
What is
name,
this?
When you go in someone's, you're going under their authority.
Listen.
Okay.
This prophet has to speak in the name of God, which is Yahweh. So now, here is your final question on this passage. Where does, excuse me, he can tell you. Where in the New Testament Jesus speaks in the name of Yahweh?
Okay, look.
Go on.
I'm going to show you where Jesus says that Moses spoke about me. So
No,
this is Jesus.
that's not the question I'm asking.
No, the scripture.
The final question to
Scripture
settle this
verifies-
debate, if he refers to Christ, he should speak in the name of Yahweh.
Scripture.
Where does it say that Jesus speaks in the name of Yahweh? I want to hear the words Yahweh.
No, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that.
Then there you
You're not
go.
gonna see that.
Cannot refer to him.
What's going on?
Then the case is closed. We have dismantled it.
No,
Like
you
this.
dismantle nothing. The only thing you dismantle.
Where does it
is your
say?
own words.
Okay. Where does Christ speak in the name of Yahweh?
Dismantle nothing. You dismantle-
Okay, go on. Go ahead. Establish it. We are all going to listen that Christ speaks in the name of Yahweh.
So this is Jesus
Carry on.
claiming the first commandment. The first of all the commands, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. This is Jesus.
Did you hear the word Yahweh? Did you hear the word Yahweh?
It depends which Bible you read. If you're reading the old Hebrew Bible, I think where it says Lord, I think it could maybe Jehovah.
You need to understand something.
Jehovah is a translation of Yahweh. So
Your Gospel of Mark,
Yeah.
was written in what language?
it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
doesn't.
It wasn't written in Hebrew. So, in the Greek Gospel of Mark,
When Jesus spoke this, he would have mentioned Jehovah or Yahweh.
he would have.
Yes.
Do we have his speech in his language?
We probably have it in the manuscript, yes.
Which manuscript?
I don't know manuscript.
Which language manuscript?
I don't know
Okay, let me
manuscript.
tell you then, if you don't know. So you have the Greek manuscripts of Mark. In the Greek manuscripts, the word Yahweh is non-existent. It doesn't
You
occur
cannot
there.
say, just because I can't show you, me, right, because I'm not
I
learned.
can show you the Greek,
Right? I'm
Greek
not a
text.
learned person.
I can show you the Greek text. Do you want to see the Greek
I can
text?
show you where Jesus
Which passage
says
is that?
Moses wrote about me.
That's not what we're debating.
Yes, we are.
We are discussing.
We are
did
debating.
he use the name of God Yahweh?
And you recite the same verse. It is the same verse.
Yeah.
So which means
He's not helping you, is he?
word is in
He's rather
Hebrew.
confusing you.
That's
No, it's not confusing.
simple.
So did he use the name Yahweh?
Unless you tell me the Genesis 4 is not
Originally, yes, he probably did.
No, don't say originally, because you haven't got anything from him. The only thing that you have is its Greek Gospels. In the Greek Gospels, there is no Yahweh.
You don't want me to answer. I can answer.
Shall I show you from the Bible Hub, Interlinear? Okay, which
But
passage is that?
doesn't nullify. This doesn't nullify.
Genesis
This
4.
does not. This
Did he speak in the name of
this
Yahweh?
does not nullify.
Okay.
Deuteronomy
Can you
18:18.
provide an evidence that he spoke in the name of Yahweh?
I probably can next week. I need a week to get the evidence together. Didn't
Right.
bring it with me.
Right.
I
So
didn't ask them
good,
to meet you.
good. Next week, you are going to provide evidence where Jesus spoke in the name of Yahweh.
No.
That's it.
No, hold a minute.
No, the discussion is
He came in his
postponed.
father's name.
No, the discussion is postponed. So nice talking to you until next week. Okay, never mind. No shake, no problem. Next week, make sure you bring the evidence that Jesus spoke in the name of Yahweh. Okay? Let's leave it to that. Thank you.